doesn't exist, then that only gives them one option. And that one option is they have to know everything or they don't know anything. And so that's why we start questioning them. And then once it gets to a point, they have to then admit and go, okay, well, I don't have an answer, so I can't know it. And if I know A because of B and I know B because of C, and yet I don't know C, well, in order to know B, I had to know C, but I don't know C, so therefore I don't know B. Well, in order to know A, I had to know B, but since I don't know B now, I don't know A, so then you cannot know anything. And that's why they're left in absurdity. But the problem is, just like that gentleman we talked to earlier that was cussing us out, we do know things. He knows that he was here, and that's what he was trying to say. I know that I'm talking to you guys right now. We're like, yeah, but how can you justify it? See, me and you, we can justify that we're talking to each other on this phone and on this app, but he could not. And that's why when it came down to it, we were like, go ahead. And he was just angry with transcendental arguments. But that's why I was bringing up on, and he was like, don't use your notes and stuff like that. I was looking at the notes because he was talking about evidence. And I go, wait a minute, giving evidence, you do make an argument. The moment you start presenting, you start validating your evidence, you're making an argument. And he was like, you can't make arguments. Well, then we can't give evidence. So that's why I started asking, going, wait a minute, tell us what evidence are. And he was getting, upset.
So how do you know you're talking to me? How do you know your brain is working?
Yeah, because God exists. So God is the one who validates.
How do you know God exists? How does he validate it?
Yes. So again, if God doesn't validate our reasoning, then we couldn't know that we are talking to you right now. We couldn't even begin to have this conversation or to begin to use words.
How does he validate it?
Yeah. So again, by being the creator of all things and by creating this, he gives us a standard to show how we can rely on our senses and reasoning. We cannot know everything, but we can know some things with certainty.
That's not true. So you cannot say that he gives you the standard through a book that he did not write.
All right, when you say not true,
how can it be true?
Batu,
that's the thing. Okay.
When you say,
so how is it true?
When you say truth, what is truth?
Oh, so you see what you're doing. You're not answering. No, you don't need. You said you said that God.
No, your question doesn't make. Yeah,
your
so
God
your question
validates
doesn't.
Your senses. Okay, let's break it down. Don't do the whole clarifying and we are going somewhere else in a definition competition, right? We are not in a definition competition. We are having a conversation. You said that God validates your senses. I asked you, how does he validate you?
Yeah, by allowing us to exist. So again, by us existing, is him validating our senses of reasoning. We could not even begin to have this conversation if he didn't exist. So it's on you now to hold on.
No, it's not. You are attributing creation to God. Am I understanding you clearly?
God is the one who. So it says in Colossians chapter 1.
So you're still going back to the book
16. Yeah, again, because if that's the only way we can know things about God is through special revelation. So again,
so you see, it's still a clip. You're not still proving because Adrian gave me 5. He gave me 5 verses that talk about God is the creator.
But here's the thing: is again, since you're rejecting that, okay, so you're rejecting that.
Harry Potter is my proof that there is witchcraft.
Yeah, so that's so.
All right. That's the thing. Okay. So you will go back to the book, and I'll say that J.K. Rowling wrote it.
This is what we're up against, Adrian. This is what we're up against, man.
I'm repeating what you are saying.
This is the best they have is Harry Potter, man. We got to deal with Harry Potter.
Okay, yes, because it's the same thing. Your Jesus is like Harry Potter. It's the same thing. Yes.
You guys are gonna have me choking on my water.
So no, every day I fly into the invisible train and go to the special witchcraft school.
This is what we're up against,
you cannot negate my experience if I say that I lived it. If I say I sleep and fly, you ask me proof. You say your God validates you through the Bible, and it is the Bible that tells you that God exists. I asked you, how have you experienced it?
No.
You cannot tell me. You say it's through the world.
No, the Bible doesn't tell us that God exists. All right, we already know God exists. Everyone knows he exists.
How?
Yeah, that's through all of creation that we can see shows dependence on God.
So you are attributing You are attributing again creation to your God. Why?
So what do you mean? What do you mean by
Because
that?
you
'Cause
say
that's
it's true creation. Because there is creation,
yeah.
then there
So
is
we're
God.
saying creation, all of creation is dependent on God.
How?
Yeah. So again, if God did not exist, then what would make a fact, and what would cause uphold anything to the like to form a reality?
So you see, I can also say that was done by Satan, and I cannot be wrong
Okay.
because you have
Okay,
no
but we're
proof.
okay. No. Here I could challenge that. Okay, so you said, oh, that was done by Satan. Okay, and how do you know that?
I have a book. I was inspired by him. I wrote it. I'm the first
Okay,
prophet.
so just to be clear, are you going to now copy Christianity to try and disprove Christianity?
That's exactly the game you're playing. I am doing what you're doing, copying you exactly.
Wait,
Satan
hold
created
on.
the
Yeah.
world. He has his prophets. Well, his first prophet
So
was
again,
Satan 01.
so
His,
wait,
his
to be
second
clear,
prophet is
you
internet.
to be clear, you are going to. Yeah, I was like, so wait, you're going to
So
copy
you see,
Christianity
so
to
you're not
disprove
no
Christianity?
logic. What?
I
How did
feel
he
really
do
good
it?
about
How
my
did he do
worldview.
it? How? How? Why are you attributing it to him? It can be Enki, Enlil, it can be Satan, anybody. You still don't
No, it
have any
can't.
proof. Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
could not be. No, it could not be Satan.
And so
Because
how is it
again,
not Satan?
yeah, because Satan is
What
not a
proof do you
perfect being.
have?
Yeah, so
How?
Satan is not a.
How
So
do you
Satan,
know
are you gonna
that?
let me answer? Are you gonna let me answer? Yeah, so Satan is not perfect. So in order for the in order for the preconditions for logic and reasoning to have to depend on Satan, Satan wouldn't have to be perfect. Because if he's not perfect and the laws of logic were to depend on him, and are based off of his character, and he's not perfect, then that means the law of non-contradiction could change and would it be consistent. That's why it has to be dependent on the one who is perfect.
It's all a fabrication. And you
Okay,
know
so
it.
you're
Because
you're just
every
reading the
time,
comments.
I was reading,
Yeah,
I was just
let's hear
reading.
the argument.
For me, yes, because I asked you, you said you have experienced your God. How did you experience him through the book? Okay, so how do you know that book is real? Because God said so. All right. Where did he say he said it to
No,
someone
so
else?
again, we
So
know
how do
the
you know
book
God
is
exists?
here.
Because
We
if
know
I
that
am alive, it means that there is
we
God.
know
There is
we know that the book is we know that the book is real is because if it wasn't, then that means God's a liar, and therefore if God's a liar, then that means he would be imperfect, and if he's imperfect, like I already said, then we wouldn't be able to have the preconditions for logic and reasoning, so therefore we couldn't know anything. But
there
we
is
do know
no
things.
God.
So that
You
shows that
have
there's
not.
God there so that shows that God is consistent and perfect and upholding everything that we can
No.
reason from.
You have no proof
Yeah.
of that.
Okay, so if you
None.
say no, then
You're
again,
making your
then tell us what
supposition,
is
and then
then
you're
tell us
saying
what is
you don't
truth.
know. Nobody knows. We have
Then tell
observed
us.
and interpreted. We have observed and interpreted the world according to the technology that we have. At some point, people thought trees were gods. At another time, they think statues are gods. And another time, they think things to help them explain the world. They thought they need to pray so that rain
Yeah,
will
but
fall. Today, human beings can cause rain. Today, women can have children
our
without
God
pain.
was the one
So
who
what are you
said,
even
yeah,
talking about?
but
So now you're asking me what is true. I am asking you, where is your God? You have not
yeah,
produced
here.
him.
Larry, let me answer that one
Where
again
is
for her.
he?
So she said there's people who are worshiping trees and all this other stuff. Yeah, and our God is the one who told them not to do that stuff. He actually said that there's
How?
people.
When?
Yeah, so and here I'll read this to you. Okay, this is what God says that we do all the time, and this is what you're doing right now. All right, so in Romans chapter 1, it
You
says
still
that the
bring the
wrath of
book. I
God is.
want material facts. You still bring a book that I
So
can pick, I can
again,
change.
for the
Why
wrath
have
of
you
God
not?
is
Why
revealed.
have you follower of Christ? Why have you not written your own part of the Bible? Why have you not written any revelation? Why can't you make any miracles?
Because
Didn't he
God
say
doesn't
that
speak
when
new
you come
revelation
after
anymore.
him, you will make miracles? But TD Jakes had to go to the hospital. Why did he pray to get out of it? Why is the Pope in a wheelchair? Where is your God? Where is he?
He's in the heavens.
Where is heaven?